do here is go back.
Hello everybody, welcome to or back to my channel. Today is going to be another review, and this one is on the Magic Square Light of Peace, a third-party version of G1 Optimus Prime, and in my opinion, the best G1 Optimus Prime figure that you can get. But before we actually take a look at the figure, we have a big ol' bag of accessories to look at. And this includes his ion blaster, his battle axe, his battle damage sides, trailer hitches, and a battle damage head. It also includes a pretty high quality card with stats on the back. And plugging in his axe to his hand is not very difficult, but I will say the axe did come a bit separated. I kind of had to shove that piece down in there to make it look better. But when it comes to configuring the hand and take notes, you need to do this for transformation too. You have to just fold his thumb down, and then you rotate all of his fingers as far in as they can go, and then just bend them at the knuckle. And after that, you can slide his axe into his hand. It's kind of a rectangular peg, and then you can just kind of put the top of it on to make it look more like the axe you would wield. When it comes down to his ion blaster, it's kind of annoying to get in. You can see on both sides there are tabs, and those do go into a slot inside of the hand, which you can see right next to my thumb. So you're going to want to put that tab in the aforementioned slot in the hand, and you're kind of going to want to wrap the fingers around where the trigger would be. You only need to wrap the top three around. The pinky can kind of move independently when he is holding the blaster, but that does look pretty good. And the last accessory before we get on to the battle damage is the matrix, which I did not end up taking out of his chest, but you can do that. It's just kind of a pain to get out, and it's not really worth it. So now that we're done talking about his weapons, it is time to move on to his other accessories, those being the battle damage pieces. So to get on the battle damage side pieces, it's the same on both sides, they just kind of look slightly different, but you rip off his actual side part and then you put on the battle damage side, right in the slot that the original went into. And for his head, you have to start by ripping his head off. It is just connected by a ball joint. It can kind of be a pain to get off, and it's kind of a pain to get the other head on as well. And here we have what I like to call trauma from the 80s mode, and if you do have the MP36, you can then recreate Prime's death scene in a way, but I just kind of took pictures with it. Anyway, let's get back to regular Prime here and take a look at the articulation. Starting off, he does have a ball joint at the head, and there's also a hinge joint on the inside of his head, so he can kind of bobble side to side, but he can look up very far and down not all that far. His arms move out. He also does have a double jointed arm, but the main joint is supposed to be the one that you saw originally move up. He also does have a forward and backward butterfly joint, which is very nice. You can also extend his arm out quite a bit, but that's more for transformation. He does have a bicep swivel. There is also an elbow swivel, but that is again more for the transformation. A double bend at the elbow that you really only need the first bend for. The second one is again more for transformation. It's also a lot more tight than the regular elbow joint, but it's there. He has some up and down movement at the wrist, as well as a wrist swivel. His thumb can move out on a ball joint, and there's one hinge joint. It can swivel around as well. And then the rest of his fingers are articulated with a ball joint at the base and then a single hinge joint, but they are individually articulated. You do also get a very good ab crunch, which can extend further, again more for transformation, but who says that Optimus Prime can't go all the way down? He does have a full 360 at the waist, not so 360 if you don't extend it a little bit. His side skirts move out, and he can perform the full splits if you want him to. His front skirt moves forward as he kicks up front, which is an interesting design. I haven't really seen that before. It does create some level of irritation because it doesn't move back with the leg when you put it back down, so you kind of have to pull it out yourself. He can kick back too. I don't know why I didn't record that, but he has a thigh swivel. A double ratcheted bend at the knee as well. And he does have some metal on his toes. I thought I would bring that up while I'm here, as well as a very good ankle pivot. But when it comes to his feet, that's not all. You also get a slight swivel because his feet are ball jointed. And you have a very good toe bend too, so you can get that going. And here he is with the SS86 Prime, and you can see where this figure just dominates SS86. It's still a great figure, don't get me wrong, but Light of Peace blows him out of the water. Here he is with the Legacy G1 Universe Prime, and you can see how much bigger he is than a Deluxe. And finally, we have the MP36 Megatron. And these guys look great. It makes me really excited to get more G1 style third-party figures, especially Crimson Wing and Acoustic Wave to finish the Decepticons. I'm just excited overall. And here we have the transformation now for Light of Peace. And now, after that long but honestly fun process, we have the truck mode. And his truck mode looks pretty good. It's relatively clean. There's one issue on mine, but that's my own fault, and that's the broken smokestack. But overall, there's not too much going on there. You've got the obvious robot crotch if you flip him over, but when are you gonna flip him over while he's displayed? And you have the obvious robo butt on his back, but again, it doesn't really bother me all that much. His feet integrate well, and they don't really lock into place due to the ball joint, but it's whatever. He does have decent rolling because his rubber tires like to kind of get stuck to the sides of the vehicle, and yes, they are rubber, very high quality. And now we're going to talk about his only accessories for vehicle mode and his only accessory storage, and those are his trailer hitches. Apparently they're for the MP44 and MP10 trailers. They just tab onto the back and kind of make a little bit more complete look, I guess, by adding a trailer hitch. Now, because I don't have either of those trailers, I decided to be creative and throw his ion blaster on it, which kind of works actually as weapon storage, but not all that well. There's no designated spot for either that or the axe. Because I lack anything to say on the truck, we're now doing comparisons, and here he is with the Legacy G1 Universe Prime. You can see how much bigger he is than that. Then the SS86 version, and again, I think this one's truck mode just blows SS86 out of the water. And here he is with the TMNT figure, because it was the only other figure I had transformed at the time. Now, my overall thoughts of this figure are obviously very high. I really like this figure a lot. And when it comes to the SS86 Prime, I don't hate that figure. I do really like it still, but this figure is just a lot better and a lot bigger, and luckily I do have two different sides of my collection to put them on, this being the Masterpiece style and that one being the mainline scale. And really quick before the end of this video, I do want to thank you guys for all the support on the last one, all the love and hate for it. A lot of people seemed to agree with my stance on this not being the greatest figure. I will confirm it is a lot of QC issues, but regardless, thank you guys for all the support, and I'll see you in my next review, which will be the Lemon Tree Toys Purple Potato. Thanks for watching.